I hope I am streaming to all of my platforms. Let me just check my Facebook. I never know if it's going live in Facebook. I'm having trouble with that. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to solve the problem. I'm trying to go live in the Facebook studio. I don't know. I don't know how to solve this problem. Write something. My video. Go live. Well, you know what? I don't know that if it's going there or not, but if anything, I'll just restream it there. So anyway, I wanted to talk about today the Sub-Zero and Wolf information that I found out. I went to the Sub-Zero Wolf installation class. It wasn't so much of it was a information installation. We didn't practice any install or anything like that. So there were designers there, architects there, and specifiers there, in addition to a couple of actual factory certified installers. And I really learned a lot about the differences between their refrigeration, their new, they've always had it the built-in style, but a few years ago they changed it to be a designer series. So they now, Sub-Zero refrigeration has a classic series and a designer series. So how do we differentiate the two? And I learned, I have a built-in refrigerator, and that integrated was always called an integrated refrigerator because it was meant to be, it's a little shallower and it sits in with the cabinets and it's flush. So it's right off the bat, it's a little shallower than a regular classic. So the designer series is not as deep with the doors as the classic series. So a lot of times people don't understand when you're doing that integrated inset look of the kitchen and you want to use a classic style refrigerator, the method of installation is completely different than it would be for their designer series. So what is the difference between the two? Well, let me see if I can share my screen. I'll see. Yes, so I'm going to see if I could share this now. It should be sharing this studio. Okay, so if here's their classic refrigerator. Let's pull up the classic look. And in this particular picture, it's so hard to see it, but it requires a toe kick space and the doors sit proud. Let's see if I could have a different. The doors sit proud. Here's the picture. Meaning the doors extend past your side panel, which is 25 inches deep, 24 and a half, whatever you want to make it to be deep. Your refrigerator extends past. Okay, the difference is it needs to be able to open up. The hinges need to open up. So the clearance around the refrigerator that is required at all times is a half an inch. In fact, when you do the built-in refrigerator or the classic refrigerator, you actually have to add a 3/4 inch panel so that to the sides of the area where the refrigerator is going, because it requires a half-inch clearance for the, trying to see if I can even get it. It doesn't really work right on the computer unless you do cut and paste and all this other stuff. And I just wanted to do a simple demonstration. So you have the Classic series, which sits proud and requires a see, look, in this stupid picture, you can't even see what I'm talking about. So you know what? I'm just going to even stop sharing it because it's a waste of time. You can't even see it. So basically, there's a half-inch gap that needs to go around the entire refrigerator, or at least the sides of the refrigerator, when you have the Classic series, because the Classic series, the box is built in, but the doors extend past the cabinet themselves. It's still the most flush of all styles. You're not sticking past, way past the box, and it's a true built-in because it doesn't have finished sides. That Classic series or designer series refrigerator, or any built-in refrigerator from any brand, is not finished on the sides. They're all unfinished. So they require cabinetry to go actually enclose the refrigerator box. So, no, it's not actually closing in the box, but you're framing it out on the exterior. So it needs a cubby to go into that refrigerator, and it has a lip on it that requires to be lip on that 3/4 inch backer panel. So the lip and the panel, they actually integrate with each other. And that's why that you need a half an inch, so like a finger's worth of space around the cabinet, that the cabinet is behind the door. Okay, so if anything is going to go past or to the door to make it look like it's an inset refrigerator, you have to keep remaining that half-inch reveal that goes all the way around the sides of the refrigerator, because of the type of hinges require the space of a half an inch on either side. So even though you can achieve that inset style that everybody's doing with these inset doors, inset cabinets, I want everything flush, I don't want my appliances sticking out, you will have a half-inch to 3/4 inch reveal around the refrigerator to the adjacent cabinetry, the ones that butt up to it. And the regular Classic series, the motor is on the top. It still requires you to maintain a toe kick space. It requires the plug to be up high. You have to look at the specs on that refrigerator, but with the motor up at the top, the cord is only 6 feet or 5 feet. 6 feet would be 70 inches. Yeah, and the refrigerator is 84 inches high. So the plug would never be able to reach. You have to put the plug up on top, plug by the motor. And a designer series on the other hand, the cabinetry and around the refrigerator and the door of the refrigerator are all at the same plane. The door on a inset cabinet is all flush with the adjacent cabinetry because it's meant to be integrated. It looks like it's part of the cabinetry. So already an integrated refrigerator is going to look built in, because that's the only way you can, it's going to look more flush because that's the way it's intended to be. It's intended to look flush. It's not intended to sit proud like the Classic series or any typical standard built-in. The integrated or designer series is flush. It only has a 3/4 inch door panel. The motor is at the bottom and the plug is at the bottom. A Classic series of Sub-Zero is 84 inches high. A designer series or integrated refrigerator is 80 inches high. So there's a difference in the height. So you can extend, because the motor on the designer series is up at the top, you will see that you can extend that panel up to make it flush with other doors or anything else. It just has to be a certain weight. Okay, you can only go a certain amount of pounds on a door panel. Okay, so the door panel has to be meet requirements. And the reveal around that refrigerator, designer series integrated, is only 1/4 inch tolerance. So right off the bat, you're getting that seam of only 1/4 inch. And because the door of the refrigerator panel is flush with the cabinet doors or the cabinet face frame, if you're doing inset, you want to, it has different hinges and it opens on itself. So the hinges allow it to have that 1/4 inch reveal on each side, as opposed to the different hinges on the classic series, which requires a 1/2 inch reveal all the way around. And now keep in mind that the 1/2 inch reveal on the classic series is achieved because it lips, the refrigerator unit lips over that 3/4 inch plywood sides that are going in to box in that refrigerator, where the designer series just slides into place. It just fits right in there. There's no lipping over of anything. It doesn't attach to, it sits nicely in there like that. So that's the difference. And designer series, you can do a fancy toe kick. It does not require a recessed toe kick. You can raise it up. You can close it in. You can make it decorative. You could do whatever you want on that toe kick area on that refrigerator. The other thing, right? So let me just check my notes, right? Installation, it's fully flush. The designers are fully flush because they have different hinges. The true integrated has 1/8 to 1/4 inch reveal around it. And it comes with a very easy template to install the door panels. People were concerned about the door panels. And then the classic is the one that has the 1/2 inch reveal around it. It's going to have a backer board, and then you have to kind of pull the panels out. It's a little more complicated to do it as a inset look on a built-in refrigerator. It's actually deeper. And the classic is 84, designers is 80, classic plug at the top, designer plug at the bottom. And it has to be very specific where the plug is located. Now, when you have a refrigerator and a freezer, always, this is the rule because of physics. When you have a refrigerator and a freezer next to each other, they cause condensation when it's a built-in. They cause condensation between the two units, and you must get a joining kit, a combining kit that has a heat shield in it. And it's just a thin piece of heat shield that is in there. And it's sandwiched in. It's like the combining kit, and then in between it is the heat shield. And you have to make sure that your appliance person, if you're joining two appliances together, that they're remembering to include that as a installation requirement. You have to buy it. It's a kit, so it's an accessory. So, and that has to do because otherwise you get condensation, there'll be mold, there'll be water damage, there'll be dripping, it'll ruin your floor. Then they have a new steam oven, and the steam oven is now a full 30 inches wide. I was reading something else, I don't know, Thermador or somebody else, and they also have a true 30 appliance microwave oven, combo speed oven, or steam oven or whatever. It's a true 30. Before, it used to always be like the box was 30, 24, but the cover was 30, or you'd have to put, or it could be 24 with fillers, or it would be the whole innards of that unit was always just 24. Now they've extended increased the width of the interior and everything of that unit to now be in conjunction with the 30-inch face. It has a 30-inch body. So what that means is now your plugs and the depth of everything and plug location and the type of plugs and the type of outlet are all extremely important where to place in your cabinetry, because there's not as much wiggle room for a cord or anything else, because you don't have extra space on each side of inside the cavity of that cabinet to work with. You've got it now. It's 30 inches or 29 and 5/8. It's 29 and 5/8 going in there in that 30-inch space. So that's exciting, but you have to remember about the plugs. That's what the guys installer said. Remember that plug. And the steam oven is not plumbed. Oh no, the steam oven needs a drain, and it needs to be close to a water line. So a steam oven needs to drain. So it needs to be near a water somewhere with water. Okay, so you can't put your steam oven in an island if there's no sink there or no plumbing there. You have to have some kind of a way for that steam oven to drain the steam. So however your installers figure that out, or you as a designer, you have to figure out how to get plumbing to that steam oven. Okay, because it needs a drain line. To careful. Oh, and with the steam oven, you also don't want to put it down low under a countertop, let's say on an island, because what's going to happen is when you open it, the steam is going to hit you in the face. As I mean, it holds off for a minute before it comes crashing, from rushing out. Okay, so it's going to wait a minute before it does that. It has like a delay of some kind, but in the meantime, anyway, steam is going to come out. We've all opened up our dishwasher and gotten steam, and open up our oven and have our glasses go all steamy. So the key is to put them up higher. And I always like everything at like 48 inches high, 48 inches. So it's all like eye level. Everything eye level is oh so nice. And this way, when you're opening up the door, it's not hitting you in the face, it's going up and away from you. So that was the suggestion with that steam oven, to put it high. But that was very interesting. I didn't think about that with the steam oven, right? You're not realizing it's going to hit you in the face. And I didn't realize they had to have a drain. And I've never done a kitchen with a steam oven yet, because I stopped designing when all this stuff is becoming really popular. Doesn't mean I don't need to know about it. And I would have to figure out, where am I going to put a drain for this steam oven? How am I going to drain it? Now I got to look on the on the specs of that steam oven and find out where it needs to go, so I can have it be able to drain. So like a dishwasher needs to be near the sink because it needs to drain. The steam oven needs to be near a water drain so it could drain. Makes sense. I'm not sure if theirs is plumbed, or if it's if you have to put the water in there. But then we were talking about the steam, not to get steam, better to install it above the countertop. And with the micro convection oven and broil, again, they've increased that to be the 30 inches. How cool is that? It broils the microwave. I tell you, I'm going to be redoing my kitchen. I don't even know if I want to do a regular oven. Why have a regular oven if you could have a steam oven and a microwave convection broil oven? Like, why wouldn't I get those two? I guess it would be a matter of space and money. Darn that space and money. It's always a problem. And then what they were talking about was with the hood, when you're doing ventilation, it's always good to have a removable panel with the hood that you're purchasing. So try and get the manufacturer to make a removable front panel. If you don't have a removable front panel, on your hood. It makes installation for your contractors extremely difficult, if not almost, it's not really impossible, but it can be messy and it won't come out as good as you want it to come. And it could be cabinet damage. But so having a hood with that removable front is like really the best thing to do. It should be able to pop off and then pop back on, because you should be able to get in there, service your motor, take out your motor if you had to. You should be able to do that. Some hoods have that, some hoods don't. I know I've done a decorative hood with a curve on it. There's no removable panel on any of that. It's all gorgeous curving, this, that, and the other thing. So having the removable front of the hood is always better. The removable panel is always better. And always, I'm going to say that when you are specifying your kitchen, you're doing your kitchen project, you want to remember to get all your appliance specs, okay? When you're dealing with the hood, no one's really taking responsibility for the ductwork, okay? Is the architect telling the contractor? Is the designer telling the contractor? Are the appliance people telling the contractor? Who's telling the HVAC guy what size ductwork he needs to run? I feel as a kitchen designer that I'm going to be the one at the end of the day to approve that and to say that and check that and look at that, because I've been in jobs where the ductwork has been an afterthought, or it's not in the right place, or it should have been an 8-inch instead of a 6-inch, or now how do I get it to change down? What do I do? Because I have a 1400 CFM motor that requires an 8-inch duct. Or am I doing a hood that's going to have an inline blower? How is that going to go? So those things, that ventilation, I believe, falls into the hands of the kitchen designer, that you are coordinating the hood, the design of the hood, the spec of the hood, the dimensions of the hood to accommodate the blower. So this would be wood hoods, but even if it's not a wood hood and it could be a metal hood, any kind of hood, you need to make sure your center lines, your electric is there, the ductwork is properly done, it's the right size, because you don't want to start fiddling with the ductwork when all is said and done and your cabinets are in and you're ready to hang a hood. You got to have your ductwork all ducks in a row for your ductwork. I do crack myself up, I must say. So anyway, you want to make sure that you have your ductwork and all your ventilation, because I'll tell you, if you have too many bends in your ventilation, it's going to reduce the CFMs on your hood. Every time you bend, it's going to decrease the airflow, which is going to decrease the cubic feet per minute that the air is blowing. So every bend and every restriction, every duct that it's not the right size, what happens is there's resistance in the motor, in the hood, and the hood will get noisy. So here you are, you spend all this money on this gorgeous hood. Your client is so thrilled. They have a beautiful hood, but it's ducted incorrectly and it's noisy. And there's nothing you can do except rip it all out and redo all the ductwork and figure out what the problem is. So always checking out the ductwork that goes along with the hood, that goes along with the cooktop. The cooktop burners, the BTUs, and the CFMs are married to each other. How many British thermal units, how hot, how much heat versus the hood, okay? You need to capture that heat to get it out of the house and out of the space and out of your environment. So the hood and all that calculations go hand in hand with the cooktop. Keep in mind that induction cooking does not produce the same amount of BTUs as a gas range or gas cooktop, okay? So an induction surface does not require the same amount of ventilation CFMs that a gas cooktop. Also, another thing, gas is getting eliminated, people. A gas cooktop is going out of the, it's like the incandescent light bulb. We talked about last week the LEDs. There's no such thing as incandescent anymore. It's now LEDs. Okay. You're not going to be able to get the gas. It's going to be getting phased out. So, all those apartments in Manhattan that had gas, some of them are being converted to electric, which is a huge undertaking because the appliances require 220 lines. So they're doing away with all the gas. They're creating now all this electric lines. They're creating more power structure, all of these energy issues. And who the heck knows, in 20 years, we might say that that's no good for you either because of something happened. You know, it's like, don't eat eggs. They have high cholesterol. No, eat eggs. They're very high in protein. Don't have fat, have fat free. You know what? That fat free is worse for you. Have the sugar free. Don't eat sugar. No, sugar's bad. No, sugar's good. So, you know, it always changes. What can you say? Gas going away. I happen to love my induction cooktop. I'm a big fan of my induction. I love induction. Can't rave about it the best. It's exact. It's easy to keep my cooking surface clean. Nothing sticks on it. I'm not having to scrub grills and grates and everything else. And it looks clean as long as I wipe it down. It looks clean. And it's also in a small kitchen. It acts as an extension of the countertop. So another thing that's really important, if you're specifying Sub-Zero Wolf. Now, this was a Sub-Zero Wolf seminar. And I think that if you're going to do any high-end appliance like a Thermador or a Viking or Bosch or Miele or something, you know, high-end, uh, AGA, La Cornue, you need certified, factory certified installers. So you just don't have your contract. If you're spending a ton of money on these appliances, you don't have them show up and have your contractor start installing everything unless they're a master installer. It's best to have somebody who is certified to come and do the install. And I'll tell you why. Because with Sub-Zero, it gives you one more additional year of warranty. So if you're spending $40,000 to $50,000 on your appliances, spend the money, tell your client, ask the contractor, make sure everybody is understanding the importance of factory certified installers. And that also goes for repairmen, factory certified repairmen, because just because you call a repair company doesn't mean that they're going to be covered as an installer for Sub-Zero or Wolf. Okay, I've done that with my Sub-Zero refrigerator, not realizing that I had to call Sub-Zero directly to get their certified repair person. So you need certified installers and certified repair people. And it's a little more money, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, it's not more money because I didn't call a certified installer. I had to pay to repair my refrigerator. If I would have called Sub-Zero because of my warranty, I would have had it all covered for free. So after I had another problem with my refrigerator, I did have to call Sub-Zero and I got it all repaired and changed and everything fixed. So my whole refrigerator had a facelift, although an inner lift, let's say, not a facelift. And it's an all new motor, new cooler, like 10 years ago. So I extended the life of my refrigerator even longer. I tell you, my refrigerator is a beast. I love Sub-Zero. I said to the sales rep, I don't know how you don't want a new refrigerator every year, a new stove, a new cooktop. Every time they get a new one, I'd want a new one. They're really quite stunning. So I thought that was very interesting to know. Oh, and one thing they were talking about was the coffee maker. I just want to talk about this before I head off. Um, the coffee maker, one of the designers was or specifier, why isn't it plumbed? Does uh, Sub-Zero offer a Sub-Zero Wolf offer a plumbed version of the coffee filter, a coffee machine? And the reason that they do not, because they don't, the answer is no, they don't offer a plumbed coffee machine because they found that 90% of the people using a coffee machine prefer to have regulated regulation over their water. So let's say they want to use filtered water or bottled water or whatever they want to use, that they felt there was more control over the water that they put into the coffee maker as opposed to automatic feed. And that makes sense because if you were going to have an automatic feed, I'd want a filter on that line. And filtered water it's big clunky things. It requires cartridges. It requires all kinds of things where maybe in their coffee maker, they get a gallon of their filtered water and that's what they put in there and they drink 1 gallon every day. How hard is it to have filtered water, your own, or they have a filter under the sink and they can, filter their water that way and just add the water the way they want. So Wolf does not offer a plumbed in coffee maker. I thought that was interesting because I would have thought, well, why wouldn't you want it plumbed? And I said, oh, I guess I would want control over my water. I'd be concerned water being stagnant for any amount of time and mildew getting in my water line. Because that's how I would feel about it. So I understand that I'd have a filtered water dispenser by my kitchen sink or bar sink. It would be filtered water, and I would use that to have my coffee machine. So now in my new kitchen, in my new house, I'm going to have a steam oven. I'm going to have a microwave convection combo broil extraordinaire. I'm going to have a coffee maker. I'm going to have a 36-inch induction cooktop. And what else do I want? How exciting if I was able to have all those things. But anyway, that was my take on the Sub-Zero Wolf installation seminar. Very interesting. So take a look at some pictures. You can have a better look online and do your own research. Get your better pictures of the classic series of Sub-Zero, which is going to have that 1/2 inch gap around it. And you could see when they try and build it in, there's all kinds of builds up and panels, and it comes out 1.5 inches and it goes around, and you need double layer. You need like 2 filler boxes to make it look built in, as opposed to the designer series, integrated series, that has that 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch reveal all around. So take some look at the pictures and you'll see the difference of how the door panels are, that there's no motor grill in the integrated. That's another thing. There's no motor showing. The motor is underneath on the bottom, and that's covered with a door panel. So you don't really see the motor on a designer series of the Sub-Zero Wolf. So I hope I was live where I wanted to go live. I hope it worked out the way I wanted it to work out. I am your kitchen and bath designer guru, mentor, and I love helping designers work one-on-one or in small groups of education classes and helping you with projects, trying to learn the ropes. If you don't have anyone to help you learn kitchen and bathroom design, I'm the person for you. So anyway, take care. Have a great day. Where'd they? Oh, where's the end stream button? I can't tell. Okay, guys. Oh, this is their new little handy book from the product guide from Sub-Zero Wolf. Call them up and get it. And also Reveal is their, I can't even show you anything from here because look at how tiny it all is. It's so tiny. I can't even read it. I need my glasses. So this is a nice, handy little book to have. I'm going to go check out all the appliances I want in my dream kitchen. Oh, to dream. Have a great day. You need a mentor for kitchen and bath design?